Imagine this. You invest in a clean energy company. It's backed by the government and it's booming. Analysts say it's the future of clean energy. And then, in one morning, its stock price falls below the cost of a paperclip. Not because the technology failed, but because the rules have changed. Welcome to Econospiracy TV. Today, we are breaking down on how a booming industry collapsed overnight and what it reveals about the hidden economic risk inside America's energy policy. A decade ago, the United States had a bold vision: lower carbon emission, energy independence, and clean electricity for everyone. Two companies became the face of that revolution. The first was Sunnova, a company that promised homeowners they could use solar energy without spending tens of thousands of dollars upfront. Their pitch was seductive. Just pay a small monthly fee and they will install the panels, manage the system, and repair any defective panels for you without extra charges. Sunnova didn't just install panels. They sold the promise of energy independence at a tempting price, and Americans bought it. The second was Mosaic, a financing giant that makes the panel installations possible. Mosaic offered loans and leasing plans to families who wanted solar power, and financing to the installers who need cash flow to keep up with soaring demand. For everyday people, this changed everything. They didn't need to take out massive loans. They didn't even need to understand solar technology. They simply signed a contract and began saving money on their electric bills. Sunnova soon became an overnight sensation. Investors poured billions into the industry. Stock prices skyrocketed. The solar industry wasn't just growing, it was exploding. For a brief moment, solar energy looked unstoppable. But then, in 2025, a new president walked into the Oval Office and signed a new piece of legislation with an innocent name: the Big Beautiful Bill. This sounds like a harmless and wonderful campaign with no drawbacks, but buried in the fine print were three critical changes. The 30% solar tax credit, cancelled. Federal financing support, terminated. The solar leasing business model, no longer eligible for tax benefits. The three foundations of Sunnova's success were crushed. With just one signature, the government silently pulled the financial rug out from under the industry. Almost overnight, the cost for a homeowner to go solar increased by $6,000 to $9,000 per family. Solar energy wasn't a money saver anymore. It became a luxury good. And for investors, the payback period doubled, from 10 years to nearly 20. Demands evaporated. Installers began collapsing. Mosaic's financing pipeline dried up. And Sunnova, once the symbol of clean energy's future, filed for bankruptcy protection. Not because the technology failed, but because the financial foundation was removed. Within 3 years, over 100 American solar installers shut down. The solar industry was dead. But here comes the part that no one talks about. The solar industry didn't die from market forces. It was killed. The collapse wasn't an accident. It was the result of a long-running political war. On one hand, the Democrats insisted that solar energy accelerate innovation, reduce carbon emission, and strengthen America's long-term energy resilience. The Republicans, on the other hand, saw energy differently. Oil, gas, and nuclear energy meant energy dominance, energy independence, and economic growth. They are more reliable than solar energy and more economically efficient. To one party, subsidizing solar is investing in the future. To the other, subsidizing solar is weakening America's strongest industries, oil and gas. When the administration changed, the priorities changed. The Big Beautiful Bill didn't just cut subsidies. It redirected energy investment back to fossil fuels, to oil, to natural gas, and to nuclear. At the moment solar lost its support, oil surged, natural gas surged, coal surged. The players that were losing ground to solar energy were suddenly back in demand. The real danger wasn't the price of solar panels. It was policy instability. Energy markets require long-term stability. Power plants last 30 years. Rooftop solar contract runs 20 years. Infrastructure payback periods span decades. But when one party pushes solar forward and the other party rips the support away, the industry can't plan. Not for 5 years, not even for 2. Imagine trying to build a company when your entire business model depends on who wins the election. The message to investors is clear. Don't bet on renewables. Your investment disappears every time power changes hands. In a single decade, the United States didn't build a stable renewable industry. It built a casino. The solar industry didn't collapse because of technology. It collapsed because of politics. This isn't a story about Democrats or Republicans. It is a story about how modern economies work and how the entire market can be created or destroyed with a single line of legislation. This is Econospiracy TV. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.